Hello, hello. We are now to Explore Performance Task, Instruction Row or Prompt 2C. This is a massively important row in terms, or prompt, in terms of instruction. It involves 3 of the 8 rubric rows. So that needs to tell you this is very important. And I'm going to try to break down the prompt and connect it to each of the 3 rubric rows. So the prompt tells you that you are to explain 1 beneficial effect and 1 harmful effect the innovation you chose has had or has the potential to have on a society group, an economy, or a culture. So you're going to have to do some research to determine what is a benefit and what is a harm, and then who might it benefit and or harm. So now let's look at how that's going to be assessed on the scoring of the rubric or the applying of the rubric. On row 3, you're going to get 1 point if you identify 1 effect of the innovation. This can be a beneficial effect or a harmful effect, either one. I recommend, just Jill's Cliff Notes, that you use a source for all 3 of these rows. So when you say that the result, the effect, the impact, and notice over here in the rubric details, it says that an effect can be an impact, a result, or an outcome. So when you state that a positive or a beneficial impact of a drone is that it can go places and take photographs that a human would have a hard time seeing or going to, cite a source for that. You don't have to cite a source, but you're a high school student trying to show that you deserve college credit for something, and a true academic person is going to cite a source. It is not the world according to Jill Westerland or the world according to, John Doe. It needs to be backed up and substantiated. So think about using the product specs, think about using the resources that you have reviewed, and back up your claims. All right, so that's row 3. Row 4 of the rubric says that you identify a beneficial or a positive effect and a harmful effect. Notice right here in the scoring criteria, it says that responses that earn the point for row 4 will also earn a point for row 3. So you can actually shoot for row 4 and let row 3 take care of itself. So if you do a great job on row 4, row 3 is going to be a byproduct and earn your point. So just shoot past row 3 if you'd like to and nail down row 4. Now I recommend that you keep your beneficial effect in one paragraph and your harmful effect in a separate paragraph. Maybe you want to use side headings with bold and underline, ever how you want to do it, but I would make it very clear what's my beneficial effect, and then leave an empty line and go into your harmful effect, and then use sources to back up your claims. The next thing I would add, if you look right here under scoring criteria, the response is missing the adjectives harmful or beneficial or synonyms thereof. Synonym means another word that means the same thing. So maybe you use the word positive for beneficial or negative, but let's just be consistent with the rubric, and let's use the word beneficial when we mean a positive or a good thing, and harmful when we mean a negative or bad thing. And you need to use that adjective when you describe them. The next thing I wanted to point out right here is the response is missing a plausible effect. Plausible is maybe not a word teenagers use a lot. Plausible means believable or actual, like aliens coming down and taking something over and flying a drone through someone's roof. Maybe aliens aren't going to do that, so that may not be plausible. If you cite a source, a credible source, to back up your beneficial claim and your harmful claim, then it's going to be plausible because it would have come from a third-party reputable source. So shoot for row 4, do a good job, back up your claims. Now let's look at row 5. Row 5 is going to be another paragraph. So we've got a paragraph for beneficial, and this is going to be a short paragraph for harmful. Now we need the third little paragraph. Explain how one of your identified effects, so either this one or this one, relates to or impacts a society group, an economy, meaning money, or a culture. So you need to identify a group of people that the innovation may impact. So if you think about, say, let's just stick with our 3 examples, fingerprint scanners. Maybe one of your articles talked about them being used in the workplace, or maybe they're used at airports. Maybe they're used in the military. Tie down an identified group of people who are noted to have used and be impacted by that technology. Drones. Anybody can buy a drone. So you probably need to be a little bit more specific to find a group of people that a drone would either be entertainment for or would be used in a work application, a military application, a gaming application. I mean, I know a guy who uses drones to photograph weddings because he's a wedding photographer. And so he takes really beautiful pictures and videos of people's weddings, like coming and going or above it if it's an outdoor wedding, and he incorporates that in his wedding photography business. So you need to identify a person, a group, or an economy that is impacting. The third thing that I would give you as an example is you need to tie something to, perhaps it involves a cultural group. So if you were, say, using Snapchat or Instagram or any social media to stay in communication with family members who are people that have maybe the same interest as you. Maybe you're in a Facebook group with other people who also have the same hobby as you. That is a cultural group. That is a segment of society that formed its own little group. So you need to connect those dots. You need to cite examples. And as possible, I would tell you to use a reference to back up your claim. And this says explains, so you need to build your case. And that is row 3, 4, and 5, which all come out of prompt 2C, a very important section of the research written response for your chosen computing innovation.